So that's something that also, that's the risk in which you can face. But, like, again, we didn't think that it was going to go that percentage. The government told us, and the Bank of Canada said, oh no, we're not going to increase interest rates more than 1%. I figured with the rate, I'm like maybe 2%. I didn't think that they were going to go up 4.5% to curb inflation and handcuff people. But the people that had fixed rate and fixed in their rate, what we're seeing now is that now we're at the end of the 5 years coming up in 2026. And apparently there's more foreclosures going to happen this year because they cannot afford to renew their mortgage. So that is a rate, because what happened with those interest rates so low, again, remember I said, don't always go with the rates. That's going to increase the amount of your pay. We had an average rate go up, that's our average sale price hit 1.35 million, 1.335 million dollars. Well, the average price right now is at $1,040,000, right? So we're $300,000 less in today's market than we were 4 years ago. So that'll play into what your property's worth. Because a lot of times, if you want to move here from an institution to another institution, A, you have to qualify, and the qualifications are much harder today than they were 5 years ago. And B, the new institution is going to want to know what the value of your property is. And some of these properties could be turned upside down. So if I'll give you an example. I am selling a property right now that we just listed for we had to list it for 175. We dropped it to 1.68 million dollars. Well, the sellers had purchased it for 4 years in 2021 for $2 million. So their mortgage is based on that $2 million purchase. So when they go to, if we don't sell, they have to renew, the value which they have is going to be less because they didn't write down, like right now we're trying to sell for 1.65. Well, the values decreased more than $350,000 that they paid. They didn't pay down that amount. So they're going to have to either go for a lender, which will, a B lender, which they're going to have to pay a higher interest rate, or they may have to put in more money just to get a mortgage, just to cover because the bank can only cover 80% of your purchase price here. So say you bought $1 million property. Well, they will only, over $1.5 million, you could only you have to put 20% down. There's no choice. So if you're in that kind of situation, if you can't come up with that up to 80%, you're going to have to pay the difference to come up. So it's interesting. It's interesting to see what's going to happen this year, especially if the market continues to be depressed the way it's been the last few years.
I mean, you got an interesting choice of words, interesting and depressed. I'm pretty sure working with somebody like you can avoid the interest, so you won't be so depressed, right?
It's a good way of putting it. Well, yeah, because I guess lower. I guess, but that word just because people do get depressed when they look at their mortgage payments every month.